Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to crochet this cat beanie with ear flaps. Super fast project, a great scrape buster, and super beginner friendly. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Lala. I'm a crochet designer who loves turning yarn into just about anything, from stylish wearables to cute amigurumi and everything in between. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so I can keep creating free tutorials and sharing new ideas. Let's start crocheting! First, we're going to start by making a slip knot, and if you're not sure how to make a slip knot, I'll link a tutorial showing 3 different ways how to do it so you can pick your favorite. Insert your hook into the loop, and we're going to start working our foundation chain. To make a chain, we're going to first put the hook under the yarn, and using the hook's head, we're going to grab the yarn into the loop. And this is one chain. We're going to make 31 chains, so let's complete a foundation chain of 31 chains. And this is how your foundation chain is supposed to look when you finished working 31 chains. Next, we're going to work row number 1, but we're going to work into the back bumps of the foundation chain. If you tilt your foundation chain a little bit, you see we have little bumps on the back of the chains. We're going to insert our hook into those bumps. First, we're going to skip that first chain, and starting from the second chain from the hook, we're going to work a stacked single crochet. I'll link a tutorial showing how to do the stacked single crochet if you're not sure how to do it. But first, tilt your work, find the back bump of the second chain from the hook, and insert your hook into that bump. Yarn over into the loop. When you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over into both of them, and this creates a single crochet. Next, we're going to insert our hook into the left bar of the single crochet, which is this thing here. Insert your hook and work a single crochet into that bar. So again, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over into both of them. And this will count as our first double crochet. And throughout this tutorial, this will count as our first double crochet of the round. We're going to continue working into the back bumps of the foundation chain, but we're going to continue working double crochets. To work a double crochet, yarn over into the loop, yarn over back into the loop. When you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over into the left 2 only. And when you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over into the remaining 2 loops. And this is our second double crochet. Let's do that one more time. Yarn over into the back bump, yarn over into the loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over into the left 2 only. And when we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over into 2 loops. We're going to continue working double crochets into the back bumps until we reach the end of the foundation chain. And let's work the last double crochet into the last back bump. And this is how our first row is supposed to look like. Next, we're going to chain 1, and this does not count as a stitch. Turn your work so the stitches backs are facing you. We're going to skip this chain because it doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to work from now on into the back loops only. How to isolate the back loop? We're going to look at the top of the stitch, insert our hook between the loops and not under them, and insert our hook into the back loop only. Then we're going to yarn over into the loop. When you have 2 loops on your hook, make a single crochet, and continue to work a stacked single crochet just like we did before. And this counts as our first double crochet of the round. If you're a beginner, I highly recommend using a stitch marker to mark that first stitch so we know where the first stitch is. Continue to the next stitch, and again we're going to continue working double crochets from now on. So yarn over, insert your hook between the loops into the back loop, yarn over, back into the loop, and complete a double crochet. I'll make my double crochets off camera and I'll see you back again right before the last stitch. So now I'm at the last stitch of the row. I still have one more double crochet left to do. We're going to start working a double crochet, yarn over and go into the back loop, yarn over into the left 2 loops, and stop here because we're going to change colors. Grab the second color of your choosing and wrap it around the hook like this and insert it into the 2 loops of the double crochet. Now we're gonna continue working with the second color yarn. So first chain 1 to secure, turn your work, work a stacked single crochet into the back loop of the first stitch, and continue working double crochets into the back loops all the way to the end of the row. When you finished and got to the end of the row, you'll meet your stitch marker if you used one. Take it out and work the last double crochet of the row. Yarn over into the back loop and last double crochet. Chain 1, turn your work, and to start row 4, a stacked single crochet into the first stitch of the row. Then continue working double crochets into the back loops of the row until you have 1 stitch left at the end of the row. When we almost finished row number 5 and we have 1 stitch left at the end of the row, start making a double crochet but don't finish it. When you have 2 loops on your hook, don't finish it with the color B yarn. Grab back color A yarn into your hand, wrap it around the hook, hold your project, and grab the first color yarn into the 2 loops. Then chain 1, turn your work, and from now on we're going to repeat row 3 and row 4, alternating between the 2 until we reach row number 16. Don't forget to work into the back loops and change color every 2 rows. I'm going to complete my 16 rows off camera, and I'll see you back again at the end of row 16. When we finished working 16 rows of double crochets into the back loops, this is how our panel will look. Next, we're going to fold our panel in half like this, and make sure that if you carried any yarn, it will be facing you because we're going to flip it later. We're going to take back our hook and yarn into our hand, and now we're going to slip stitch those 2 sides of the panel together. Since we have 8 rows after we folded it in half, and every double crochet is 2 slip stitches, we're going to work 16 slip stitches into both sides of the panel. Insert your hook into one side of the panel and take it out from the other side into both stitches. Yarn over into both loops and grab the left loop into the right one to form a slip stitch. Do that again on the same row, on the same stitch. and continue working 2 slip stitches for every double crochet in our panel. Now that the 2 sides are attached, we can chain 1, grab our scissors and cut off the yarn. Pull away the hook to fasten off. Now we're gonna turn our work upside down and attach those 2 sides as well. Grab back the yarn, make a slip knot, and I like to start from this area here. Insert your hook into both stitches of both panels, of both sides of the panels to be more exact. Put the slip knot on the hook and attach the new yarn. Chain 1, and this can count as our first slip stitch. So grab another loop from the same row and slip stitch the 2 sides together. So just like we did before on the other side, put 2 slip stitches on the sides of 2 corresponding double crochet rows. When our 2 sides are attached by 16 slip stitches, we can now chain 1 and again cut off the yarn with our scissors, pull away the hook and fasten off. You can now also cut the other color, and now we're going to start working on the bottom of the beanie. First we're going to flip the beanie inside out, pop out those ears of course because that's why we're here, and we're going to attach new yarn to the bottom of the beanie. Start from the first stitch of the row, insert your hook, and attach the other color yarn from the one that we're attaching the yarn to. So first make a slip knot, put the slip knot on the hook, and attach the new yarn by chaining 2. Now what we're going to do is go into that same stitch that we just attached the yarn to and work a double crochet. And this is our first stitch. The chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Again, you can mark that first stitch. We're going to work a round of double crochets, 1 double crochet on top of each stitch. So work 30 double crochets, 1 to each stitch of the first row until you reach the folding point here. And once we got to the end of the row and we have 30 double crochets, what we're going to do is work a double crochet decrease into both of the panel sides. So first yarn over into any loop here, yarn over back into the loop. When you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over into the left 2 loops only. Don't finish up this stitch. Yarn over and go into the second side of the panel. When you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over into the left 2 only. And when you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over into all 3 loops. Next, we're going to continue on the other side of the beanie. We're going to work 30 double crochets just like we did on the other side. Now that we've finished working 30 double crochets on the other side of the beanie, we're going to work another double crochet decrease. So put your hook into one side of the panel, almost make a double crochet, but don't finish it. Yarn over into the other side of the beanie, the other color, yarn over into left 2 loops, and yarn over into all 3 loops. At the end of this round, you're supposed to end up with 62 stitches. We're going to take out the stitch marker and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round. So insert your hook, yarn over, and grab the left loop into the right one. And now we're going to chain 2. Next, we're going to work a round of double crochets and front post double crochets. So first we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that first stitch that we just slip stitched into, the first stitch of the round, and work a double crochet just like we did before. Next, we're going to work a front post double crochet. So to work a front post double crochet, we're going to isolate the next stitch, yarn over, put our hook around the post of the stitch and not into the loops on top, like this, so the stitch is over the hook, yarn over, into the loop. When you have 3 loops on your hook, complete a double crochet as usual. Next, we're going to work a regular double crochet, yarn over, into the stitch, yarn over, double crochet, and into the next stitch, a front post double crochet again. Yarn over, behind the post, yarn over, into the loop, and complete a double crochet. This is what we're going to repeat until the end of the round. 1 double crochet and front post double crochet following it. I'm going to complete my round off camera and I'll see you back again at the end of the round. When you got to the end of the round and you've worked your last front post double crochet, we're going to join the round by slip stitching into the first double crochet of the round, then chain 2 to start round 21. For rounds 21 and 22, we're simply going to repeat round 20, work 1 double crochet into the first stitch of the round, the one that we just slip stitched into, followed by a front post double crochet around the next post. At the end of the round, join the round by slip stitching into the first double crochet of the round. Work your 2 rounds of this pattern and I'll see you back again at the end of round 22. And now that we're finished with round 22, let's join the round at the end of the round, slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round, and then chain 1. Grab your scissors and cut off the yarn. Pull away the hook to fasten off. Next, we're going to count 7 stitches from the first stitch of the round, the one that we just fastened off into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And mark it with a stitch marker. Next, count 18 stitches away from the last stitch marker and mark the 18th stitch. Count 13 stitches away from the last stitch marker and mark the 13th stitch. Next, count 18 stitches away from the stitch marker we put and mark the 18th stitch. Count and make sure you have 14 stitches in total between every blue and red stitch marker from here to here. Next, we're going to crochet the ear flaps. So first, insert your hook into the left stitch marker of the two blue stitch markers and attach new yarn. Make a slip knot, put it on the hook, tighten it up, and attach it by grabbing the loop into the stitch. Chain 2 and work a double crochet into the same stitch. Those 2 chains don't count as a stitch. Continue working 14 double crochets in total until you reach the next stitch marker. Take out the stitch marker to make it more comfortable and work the last double crochet. Next, we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and work again 14 double crochets, 1 stitch into each stitch of row number 1. When we finished working row number 2 and we have 14 double crochets in the row, we're going to chain 2, turn our work. We're first going to skip this stitch and go straight into the next one and work double crochets until you have 2 stitches left at the end of the row. When we finished working 11 double crochets, we're going to work a double crochet decrease into the next 2 stitches. At the end of row 3, you're supposed to end up with 12 stitches. Next, for rows 4 to 7, we're simply going to repeat row 3. So chain 2, turn your work, skip that first stitch, work double crochets until you have 2 stitches left at the end of the row. And when you have 2 stitches left at the end of the row, work a double crochet decrease. Repeat this pattern until you reach the end of row 7. I'll work my rows off camera and I'll see you back again at the end of row 7. At the end of row 7, you're supposed to end up with 4 stitches. So what we're going to do next is chain 1 to start row 8, turn our work, skip the first stitch, and work a half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 2 half double crochet, yarn over, into the loop, yarn over, back into the loop, and when you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over into all 3 loops. And do the same into the next stitch. And next we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and grab the left loop into the right one to finish the round. Next, chain 1, grab your scissors and cut off the yarn. And we're done with one ear flap. We're going to repeat the same thing we did in the first ear flap on the other side of the beanie, where we marked those 14 stitches on the other side. So grab back your yarn, make a slip knot and attach it on the stitch marked on the right side. Chain 2 and repeat rows 1 to 8. I'm going to complete my ear flap off camera and I'll see you back again when we finish round 8. Let's finish up the second ear flap by working 2 half double crochets into the next 2 stitches and then slip stitch into that last stitch just like we did in the first ear flap. Chain 1, grab your scissors and fasten off. Next step is optional, but if you ask me, I think it's a great addition. We're going to work a hem of single crochets all around the beanie. So grab color B yarn, make a slip knot, put it on the hook, then attach the new yarn to any stitch on the bottom here. Yarn over into the loop. When you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over to complete a single crochet. You can use a stitch marker to mark that first stitch, so it will be easier for us to find it later. Work a single crochet into the next stitches until you reach the ear flap. When you got to the ear flap area, we're going to turn our work a little bit. And we're going to work 2 single crochets on the side of each double crochet. So just insert your hook into the stitch, doesn't matter where. You can help with your fingers. And work 2 single crochets on the side of each row. When you get to the bottom of the ear flap, work 1 single crochet on the side of the half double crochet row, row 8, and then work 2 single crochets on top of the stitches like we would usually do. Continue working on the other side, and again work 2 single crochets on the side of each double crochet. This way, continue working single crochets around the beanie, and I'll see you back again at the end of the round. When we finish the round, we can take out the stitch marker from that first stitch, insert our hook into the first single crochet of the round, work a slip stitch, then chain 1. Grab your scissors, cut off the yarn, fasten off, Our beanie is almost ready. All left for us to do is just weave in the tails using a darning needle. And this is it, you guys. We're done and our cap beanie is completed. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you made this cat beanie, I'll be happy to see it. You can tag me on Instagram on LalaBeCrocheting. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next video. Bye!